Good morning. Thank you for joining us again for another garden video. It's one of those days where you can boil in the steam that's out here. It's hot, very humid. We just had thunderstorms last night. But we're just going to talk to you a little bit today about some of the reasons we garden. This is, again, like we've told you before, this is kind of our first year of really doing it. The last 3 or 4 years we've tried little bits of this. We had a tiny yard at our last house and did a little bit over there. Got a few green beans to do okay, stuff like that. Then moved over here, and again, clay soil, hard to work with. So we've got a few notes pulled together, and we're going to tell you a few of the reasons of why we garden. Go ahead and start us out with the first one, and we'll go from there and fill in for each other when we want to.
Well, I think one of the big ones, maybe one of the main ones, is for health reasons. We have had several times in the past where health has been a real problem, and so being able to move away from chemicals, from processing, and start doing it ourselves, start doing it organic, that has been a big motivator for getting outside and gardening. And then once you're outside and you're in the fresh air and the sunshine, and maybe not so much on days like today, but as a general rule, it's great to be outside. It's great to get some exercise and just spend time outdoors doing things rather than just vegetating in the house.
We started really paying attention to the health of food. I spent about 3 years in a wheelchair, cane, back and forth. Good days on a cane, bad days in a wheelchair. Mixture of Lyme's disease and rheumatoid arthritis, and maybe some other problems as well that we never found out about. But anyway, all of that said, we really started paying attention to what we were eating, and a garden is one of the main benefits to really start making sure we're eating food that hasn't been treated with all sorts of chemicals. And another good reason for the garden is just family. Gives the kids time to be outside. Sometimes we're out here working on the garden together. Lots of times it's just the two of us. We have one of the kids that loves to come out and pick beetles off the beans and grapes. It's also given a way for some of the kids to earn some money. They're still young, but of course want a little bit of pocket change. So I've told them, hey, weed the garden, I'll pay you for it. So they've been doing a pretty good job keeping up with that, and that's been helpful.
And then another big one is just knowing how to do this. We are definitely still in the learning stage, but knowing how to take care of vegetables, how to tell the difference between a bean sprout and a weed, it's something that we've been enjoying learning, and the kids are just thrilled to get to learn it with us. And it's been very useful knowledge that seems to be fading out, but we're very happy to be able to be learning this so we can pass it on.
And I gotta say, for just learning, I'm pretty happy with how it's been turning out. You can see our introduction video that we did. Can probably put a link in here to go back to that and just kind of see how the garden's going for this first real year of running it. Pretty happy with that. Another big one is the supply chain. Of course, we've just been going through this whole lettuce issue where everybody's avoiding lettuce, and just heard this morning, and these don't affect us yet with just a garden, but eggs getting recalled, bacon getting recalled, things like that, things that we're working to do outside of the garden as well. But just knowing that, hey, if something goes wrong, we can go out to the garden, we can pick some vegetables. If it's winter, we can go to the pantry, pull out the canned vegetables or the squash, and still have something to eat, even if something went crazy. I mean, people tend to think that this is the way of life, you can just run to the store anytime you want. But all it takes is one thing going different, and we can find out, like much of the rest of the world has, how much we really do take for granted. So just knowing there's a little bit of food security, knowing that you can go out and get something if you have to, that's a really big deal.
And then talking about doing things outside of just gardening, we have in progress a duck coop or a chicken pen, and we're going to be getting some egg layers in and start raising ducks, chickens, a mix of both probably.
Rabbits, we have our pen set up right back there behind the dog pen. She'll kind of be there to help guard it. She loves little animals, so it's hilarious to watch, but she loves little animals. So having her there to help guard the rabbits will be a good thing. Pigs, moving into pigs eventually. We've got a place set up for them. And the garden will really end up being a big benefit across the board. I mean, rabbits will help feed the garden in the way of manure, and the garden will help feed the animals with everything that is too old to use, or the vines when they get taken down, or whatever the case is. You know, it's just all kind of working toward a closed loop system in a way.
So that's kind of, for us, our reasons for why we've made it a priority, even after failing several years to do much of anything. But this year we've just made it a priority, and I'm really glad we have. And this is our reasoning for doing it. Everybody has their own reasons, I'm sure, but we just thought we'd share ours and kind of let you in on the thought process behind all this.
And we'll be back with plenty more as time goes on. We're just getting ready to start really heading into the summer harvest. We've been picking a few beans. Squash are starting to come on. Cucumbers are starting to come on. It's pretty exciting, and we're going to see how that goes, and we'll be happy to have you along with us as we do it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please do like, subscribe, and follow along.